You gotta love the old classics. Paco Rabanne 1 million. By this time, everybody's already smelled this. Everybody knows it. The only people who hate on this one are the young bucks. Completely understand. This is like a dad fragrance, but, at one point in time, this was Valentino. At one point in time, this was myself. And there's going to come a day where the Valentino and the myself is going to get hate. And you're going to be sitting in a chair just like me and be like, no, guys, you got it all wrong. You're totally missing the boat on this one. This is a staple, right? And everybody's gonna be like, yeah, look at this guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, fun story. When I was in middle school, I smelled this everywhere because it was just released. It was popular. Everybody had it. For that reason, I didn't have it. I don't like I wore Sauvage when it first came out, the EDT, and I wore that one, and I wore it. My signature scents were literally 2 bottles that I still have to this day. I never really had winter scents because I've never been a fan of gourmands, though I will wear them on rare occasions. But my 2 fragrances were Sauvage EDT, and it was Light Blue EDT by Dolce & Gabbana. Those were the 2 that I stuck with, and would wear all year round. Mainly the Sauvage year round, but Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue is my summertime, springtime type fragrance. But I avoided this because everybody was wearing it. And once Sauvage, Sauvage gained popularity, I have it, but I only wear it on rare occasions because it's kind of been worn out. Now, I don't really care about that, but there was a period of time where it was I just smelled it everywhere because it was one of those fragrances that, and that's where you got to give credit where credit's due, because when a fragrance like this comes out, right, and people smell it, and then people are talking about it, and people are buying it, and the next thing you know, you're smelling it everywhere, that says something about this fragrance. So you can hate on it all you want, but this is truly one of those masterpieces, where it's going to stand the test of time. It's always going to be good, regardless. It just may not be for everyone. Sauvage EDT, same way. That's a timeless fragrance. It was great for a reason. Everybody bought it for a reason. And the hate is just completely out of you could hate on it, but nobody's going to validate you on that unless they're just a hater themselves, right? Nobody can say that these fragrances smell bad, right? Myself, it's going to be in the same boat. I bet you love, if you hate on this and you hate on Sauvage, I bet you love myself. I bet you love Valentino. But, what's funny is the thing about time is that, it always comes full circle. So there's going to come a time where, you're going to be in your late 20s, early 30s, and you're going to be still rocking myself and Valentino because those fragrances you really connected with, and people are going to hate on them, and you'll be like, those are great fragrances. I don't know what you're talking about, So just know what goes around comes around, and it's just Father Time. Happens to the best of us, happens to all of us. So EDT, I didn't rock this one because everyone was. By the time it dropped, there was no time to even, it was almost like you couldn't be unique right out of the gate because everybody was rocking this. So for that reason, I wore other stuff. But now that it's faded and been lost to time and gets hated on, I will gladly wear this now every opportunity that I can because, number one, it smells unique. It's a little bit dated, but it's still, you could tell this was revolutionary and sort of paved the path for these style of fragrances. And they really were. So, and I would like to argue that I think myself looked at something like this and how well it performed by Paco Rabanne with the orange blossom in there and the sweetness, and was like, why don't we turn it into a freshie? Just my thought, but hey, what do I know? And that's why it's so popular. So, I firmly believe, how could you like the Myself Freshies and hate on something like this? They share some commonality in that aspect when it comes to the orange blossom, the sweetness. And it's just more of a denser winter clubbing style fragrance compared to a freshie, right? So, with all that being said, I believe that this is still worth it. I think it should still be appreciated and worn, and if I'm one of the few that's rocking this still, when I have the opportunity, I'm totally okay with that, because at least I won't smell like everybody else. Thank you for watching.